The Supreme Court recently dismissed a PIL on menstrual leaves, and the reasoning it gave was simple. If menstrual leaves are made mandatory, companies might stop hiring women. This argument is worth sitting with because it's not just a legal argument. It's a window into what's exactly broken about this whole debate. The court made two arguments. First, this is a policy matter, not a judicial one, directed to the ministry. And that's actually fair. Menstrual leave cuts across employment laws, economics, and involves multiple stakeholders. So courts shouldn't be the one legislating this. But the second argument is more interesting. The court said, and I'm quoting, "The more unattractive the human resource, the less is the possibility of assumption in the market." Meaning, if we give women more leaves, companies won't hire them. And that's where things get uncomfortable. Because the court isn't wrong that some employers might behave this way. The problem is what this reasoning implies. You're essentially saying that the market is biased, so let's not challenge it. Let's design policy around that bias instead of against it. We have been here before. The POSH Act was resisted, maternity leave laws were resisted, both imposed costs on employers, both were called disruptive, and both were the right call. The discomfort of corporates has never been a good enough reason to not protect workers. Here's what the supporting side gets right. Conditions like dysmenorrhea and endometriosis are recognized medical conditions, not inconveniences. Women already take sick days during painful cycles. A defined leave category doesn't add a new burden. It just makes an existing reality legitimate. And the productivity math is straightforward. Someone working through severe pain isn't productivity anyway. That's just presenteeism. The cost is already there. It's just invisible. Making it visible through structured leaves reduces hidden inefficiency. Constitutionally also the argument holds. Substantive equality under Article 14 means identical conditions for biologically different situations can itself be discriminatory. Maternity Benefit Act was enacted exactly based on this logic. But the counter arguments are not all in bad faith. The stereotyping concern is real. A poorly designed women-only mandatory leave can frame menstruation as a limitation, reinforcing the very narrative that it tries to fight. Then there's Japan. Menstrual leave laws have been there in place since 1947. Almost no one uses it. Women don't want to invoke it. Why? Because the stigma of appearing unproductive is stronger than any legal entitlement. The legislation exists on paper and nowhere else. This is the part that both sides of the debate tend to avoid. A law doesn't automatically fix a cultural problem. The framing and design matter as much as the legislation itself. So what does a workable solution look like? Certainly not women-only mandatory leaves. That's the worst of all options. It maximizes hiring bias concerns while minimizing uptake because of stigma. What actually might work is a combination of things. Gender-neutral wellness leaves available to all employees for health reasons. Flexible options like work from home on difficult days, which most knowledge economy jobs can accommodate without a formal leave structure. And workplace support systems like restrooms, accessible pain management, and a culture where taking a sick day doesn't require a medical defense. The goal is not creating a separate category for women. It's designing workplaces that are built for actual working humans, not abstract productive units who never get sick, never have a bad day, or don't have a body. The court is right that the legislature should handle this, but the legislature hasn't moved in years. And the government's position is essentially that the companies should figure it out voluntarily. Some companies have, Swiggy, Zomato, SMFG, but voluntary goes only so far. The real question isn't whether periods are a handicap. They're not. The question is whether we keep designing workplaces around one particular kind of body and call it the neutral default. A well-designed, flexible policy can answer that question. We are just choosing not to ask it seriously yet.